You're listening to the Everyday Determinator podcast, brought to you by Maiwand Kakar of the Determinator Collective.
Hello Determinators. Today we're speaking with Maiwand Kakar. He lives in Trabzon city in the Black Sea coast in Turkey. He has a degree in civil engineering and has experience in construction. He's also taken online courses from the University of Maine, and this program is for intensive English language and is for 8 weeks long. His goal for now is to pursue his master's degree in construction management. Hi, Maiwand.
Hi, how are you?
It's good to have you here with us. We look forward to listening and hearing more about your journey into the world of work from graduation. So I understand you're a recent graduate. Can you tell me a bit about that? About your course?
Sure. I studied civil engineering in Turkey for 4 years, and I took different subjects. For example, reinforced concrete, structural analysis, static. That's belong to civil engineering, and one of my favorite subject was planning. And because of I want to be a planner, this subjects give me the idea what is planning, and I was really good at planning. And I just graduated from university 5 or 6 months ago.
Okay, cool. So you studied civil engineering. Who or what influenced you to pursue that route of study?
When I was a child, I used to have a subject. My subject name was English, and there was a photo of Burj Khalifa in Dubai. And when I saw this photo, I was so curious how human can build a building that much high. And I start from there. And then my mother influenced me to do what I love doing. And she encouraged me all the time to go forward and keep working on my dream and what I love to do.
Okay, that's really good to hear. So we have your mum to thank for you being in the construction industry now, so that's great. Did you have any other mentorship when you were doing your program, during your program, and how did the role of a mentor impact you? Or if you didn't have any mentor, do you think it would have helped?
For sure, I had 2 mentors, and one personal mentor, my mother, all the time encouraged me to go forward. And if I talk about program, the mentor that I have for civil engineering was a professor of mine, and he keep encouraging me to go forward and do my best in my subjects. And she showed me how to be a better civil engineer and what I need to be a successful engineer in the future. And it's very important to have a mentor in your life. Life is not. It will not go at same level. We have up and down point, and if we need to, sometimes we will not keep continuing, and mentor will help you to encourage you to go and keep continuing what you want to do. And mentor is very important in our life, and I'm happy that I had such an amazing mentor in my life.
That's good. I'm glad it made a big difference to you as well. And I understand now you have you're recently graduated and you've entered the world of work, starting on site as an engineer. How did you find the transition from study into work?
Well, during university, you will learn more academic things, and that will be not. I just had two time chance of internship, but I didn't learn that much. And there's a lot of difference between academic and practical. And when I start my job in construction site, it was very difficult for me and very different. I just learned academic and I didn't know that much practical was in construction site. But by keep going and by learning, by asking questions from other people, from laborers, from subcontractors, from general contractors, from supervisor of the construction site, I every day I just learned, and then I took notes, and at the same time I had conversation with amazing people like you, and encouraged me to do better in my construction side. Yeah.
No, that's kind, Maiwand, and I'm glad that our conversations helped along the way. And I'm glad that there was other people that you were able to ask and get information from. And I think asking questions is very, very important when you're early in your career. Would you agree with that?
You totally agree. And we don't need to be shy and just be open-minded, and just we need to be open for learning. And if you don't ask question, it will be not that much helpful. Like by asking question, by doing your research, it's very important. And every major, but in our major, it's very important, and it helped me a lot to learn more about construction.
Good, that's great. How did you find that your role actually compared when you got onto the site? How did you feel that actually compared to what you thought working might be when you were at school or at university? What was it, a big difference? Was it what you expected or what you didn't expect?
In university, there was all the time paperwork, and you need to just study. In construction, you need to be on site. There's hot weather, there's cold weather. You need to be there, and it was really difficult for me at the beginning. I didn't know how to manage people. I didn't know how to estimate materials. I didn't know how to have a better communication skills with the people. And at the beginning, it was really hard for me. But by working with such amazing people, I let it learn, and I just changed my. I become better and better and better. And there's really difference between studying civil engineering and working in construction as a civil engineer. You need to keep going, and you need to keep learning.
Keep learning, yeah, that's definitely something that we all need to do as well, isn't it? So I understand as well, in addition to all these challenges, you also studied and worked in a country that's not your home country. So you're working away from home, away from your friends and your family. How did you find that experience?
Well, I'm a multicultural person, and when I was a child, I used to live in Pakistan for 4 years, and then we moved to Afghanistan, and now we're living in Turkey. I think that one of the biggest obstacles for me was learning language at the beginning. I didn't know language, and I don't know friend. My friend was in Afghanistan. At the beginning, you will feel more like you will not feel that much good. But they keep making friends, and just be open mind, and just try to be friend with other people, and learn the language, respect the culture, respect the other people's culture. It's very important if you're living in another country that's not your culture. And I'm sure after that you will have a better experience living in another country. For me, it was language at the beginning. It was really hard for me to learn Turkish, but I did it, and I'm very happy that I learned Turkish, and now I can have speaking with Turkish people very easily, with a very well confidence, and that's
amazing. That's really good to hear. So would your top tip for someone who is looking to study in a different country, would that be your advice? What would be your advice to them? Would it be language, or would it be something else?
Well, as I mentioned, they need to be open. Therefore, open-minded person. They need to learn about the other country culture. They need to respect to other country culture, and they need to be respectful person. And at the same time, they need to open their they need to be open for networking, and they need to be friend with people. If you friend a person, I'm sure you will learn language easily. You will learn our culture easily. You will learn a lot of things by
I think there's some great tips for anyone at the start of their career. Networking, be open-minded, be friendly, networking, getting to know people, learning new things. So regardless of where you're working or studying or learning, if you're a nice person and you're being friends with people and being open-minded, networking and learning, there's lots and lots of opportunities there for you to learn more and do more, isn't there?
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah. So I know you said that you were considering pursuing further studies. Is there a specific reason for this or a purpose? Do you feel like it's going to offer you better work options, or is it a personal ambition to pursue your master's degree?
I think it's personal ambition, and I really want to be specialized in one part of civil engineering. It is construction management. That's my first goal of doing my master's degree. And the second one, to find a job and a better level, but not at my main goal. My main goal is my ambition that I want to learn more, and yeah.
Excellent. So what sort of research are you doing then to find a suitable course? Are you, that fulfills that objective in terms of your personal ambition?
It took almost a year to find a good university that I look for. At the beginning, I looked for university. Does university have the specialization that I want to do? Construction management. That was my first priority. And the second was the university that I want to do my continue my master's degree. Does that company, the university has a lab, and does the company have a does the university have a good feedback from all the students, and also the cost of the tuition of the program? That also was one of it was also for me important. Can find a university with cheaper tuition. That was also one of my priority. And with city, which city is located, how is the weather, and how for example, I'm living in a city that's very cold. Is that how is that city look like? And that's the main thing that I look for.
Good. So lots and lots of different things to think about there.
Yeah.
So in terms of thinking ahead of the future, what is your ambitions for the next 5 years? Where do you see yourself?
Well, that's such an amazing question. Let me think. In the next 5 years, I'm sure I will finish my master's degree, and I will have a better job opportunity and another country, and you will see me in a really different level of success.
Yes, I'm absolutely certain of that, Maiwand, and I can't wait for the update on that. So aside from your working and your studies, I understand you've set up the Engineering and Architecture Club on Clubhouse. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. I made this club a few months ago, and I have weekly rooms over there, and generally we're talking about construction. Sometimes I'm inviting some guests from different fields to share their experience with other people, and often I open rooms for networking. It's an amazing place, Clubhouse, to build your network, and by joining Clubhouse, you will never know who will you meet. And I met you from Clubhouse, and I'm so glad that I met you from Clubhouse. And that's one of the, that's all about networking, and yeah. And now we already have 1,300 members in our club, and I'm very grateful about that.
Well done. It's been an excellent experience for me as well. Clubhouse, met lots of people. Like you said, that's where we met, and I'm grateful for that. And meeting loads and loads of different people. Like you say, you just don't know who's going to be in the room that day. You never know, and it's a really great opportunity to meet people from all different countries as well, which is really excellent. So when can our listeners hear your show? I think you said you had a weekly slot. Is it a set slot every week, a set time slot?
It's every day for an hour. I'm sorry, every 3 times a week for an hour. And sometimes if we have a lot of audience and people on the stage, we will keep continuing more than an hour. And it's Monday, Tuesday, and Sundays we have this room. We open a room in our club, and our club names ENG and ARC. ENG stands for engineers, and ARC stands for architects. And yeah, that's our.
Perfect. We will share the link to that in the blog that will accompany this episode as well, just so that we can point people in the right direction. And you can we can list the times of those shows as well, so that people can know where to find you and engage in those conversations.
Yeah, for sure.
So along the way, we've talked a little bit about your studies and your work. Are there any challenges you faced along the way, and how did you overcome those challenges?
Well, life is full of challenges, and you need to keep going. And starting when I came to Turkey, I just was 16. At that time, I started working, and at the same time, I finished my high school at that time. But I keep going, and it doesn't matter how the challenge is bigger. If you keep going, if you focus on your goals, and if you focus on your dream, just go ahead. And there's an amazing thing all the time my mother mentioned to me. Life is a kind of like a tunnel. It's dark at the beginning, and if you keep going, you will see a light at the end of tunnel. Life is like that, and we need to keep going. And I'm sure at the end of hard working, and we will see success. And I saw all of these in my life, and it encouraged me to keep going, and don't think about the negative part. Just be optimistic about your future.
No, that's a really good analogy that your mum passed on, and I think it's very true that at the end, when we do work hard, we can see the benefits of those efforts. So that's really a nice thing to hear. Is there anything that you would have done differently along the way? Maybe something you think, oh, I wish I'd done that differently, or wish I'd done something different.
I do. Like, I wish I study more English to be better at English speaking. And at the beginning, I was a shy guy, and I didn't good at networking. And I wish I start networking at my early age. And it's very important. Network is your work. I have got a lot of help from my networks than my relatives, believe it or not. I know people from around the world, and I'm very happy that I built my network, and I'm still building my network. And if there is anyone that's on my age, or you just need to keep going and just build your network. Network is everything.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. Network is so understated, and it's not something that a lot of people understand very well sometimes, but networking is so important and can really help you in your career with that learning more all the time element. So I'm glad that you're on that train of thought with your Clubhouse club as well. You'll have plenty of networking opportunities there, so people can join in and join your networking clubs to try and do that or make a start. Tell me about something that inspires or motivates you.
At the beginning of my life, and the second will be finding a way to solve problem and or overcome of challenging. Like my life, I had a lot of difficulties in my life, but I find a solution for that, and I just keep going.
Good. So what 3 pieces of advice would you give other new or recent graduates, something that you've learned? So 3 pieces of advice for someone who is in similar shoes to what you've found yourself in recently, starting a new job.
They should be open for networking. That's all the time. That's my first advice for all people. And be open-minded and be ready for challenge.
That's a great 3 tips, Maiwand. Thank you. So we've been through a little bit of your journey. Please tell our listeners where they can connect with you online if they want to hear more about you. Are you on social media?
Yes, I'm using. I'm more I'm using more LinkedIn, and I will put my LinkedIn on the description part. At the same time, Instagram and Clubhouse is a better place that I am opening like weekly rooms, and you can, if you would like, you can join our club, and by this way we will keep in touch.
Thanks, Maiwand. What would be your Instagram handle? Is it Maiwand
Kakar?
Maiwand Kakar, yeah. So if anyone wants to find you on Instagram, they just look up Maiwand Kakar and they'll find you there.
Yeah, but I'm more online on LinkedIn, and more officially I'm using LinkedIn. They can also find me up from over there.
Okay, perfect. And we will include those links in the description
Sure.
that accompanies this episode. Thank you so much for your time, Maiwand. We're really happy to hear a little bit about your journey into the world of work and construction after recently graduating, and we look forward to hearing more from you as you progress in your career, and we'll get that update as to you getting through your masters, which I'm sure you will do. It's been great talking to you. I'd really appreciate that. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you to our listeners for joining us on this episode. We look forward to you joining the next one. We will have more guests with stories of overcoming challenges and adversity, and how those people have managed to get through their challenges and turn them into something wonderful. Goodbye.